We live in one of the most beautiful places on Earth. From the rocky shores on Peggy's Cove, to the Hopewell Rocks in New Brunswick, all the way up to the Cape Breton Highlands and beyond. We also have a lot of great music. Welcome to Sounds Atlantic on 98.9. Nothing but hits.
Sounds Atlantic is Sunday night. Good evening. It's Paul Kerwin right along till 9 o'clock tonight. And going to start the show with some Lead Mule for you this evening. And as a matter of fact, we have Matt Bridgeo on the line. Good evening, Matt. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you this evening?
Not too bad at all. Matt, let's get right into it here. Let's talk a little bit about your band, Lead Mule. How did Lead Mule come about?
Well, Lead Mule was basically a few friends of mine that like to play kind of bugged me to start another band, and that's basically how that started. The name actually come from an old camp that we used to play. It was our practice shed, and we had a lot of bands that played there over the years. We had concerts out there and stuff like that. And we were searching for a name, and we decided to pay tribute to that place. It did eventually burn down, so we thought it'd be a nice homage.
Sounds pretty good. So, Lead Mule has been around for how long now?
I would 2012, I do believe, 2011, 2012.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years. So, who do you have in the band to help you out?
Well, we got Mark Durkee. He's been there since the beginning, and Travis Darby. Mark Durkee's he used to play the drums when we first started, and then he moved on to bass, and now he's playing guitar. So he's a good asset to have in your band because he can pretty much take on any role that's needed of him. And Travis Darby plays the drums, and we have a new player that we just recruited about a year ago, and his name is Jeremy Surratt, and he's now playing bass for us. So we'll get the four of us, and yeah, we all get along, and we enjoy creating music together.
So you guys are from the Yarmouth area, is that right?
Yep.
So did you all like know each other through certain aspects of life, or how did you guys all sort of even get to know each other?
Well, Mark Durkee was always an active player around in the music scene. Like, he was always out and about. So he was hard to miss. He was in a lot of bands. He still is. He actually kind of lit the fire in the first place. And with Darby, we were looking for a drummer at the time, so I approached him. Jeremy Surratt, well, he was a friend of Mark Durkee's that I knew off and on, that hung out with from time to time, and we all get along pretty good, and I think that's important.
Okay, listen, I'm going to play a couple of tracks from the Lead Mule CD, simply called Lead Mule. LM is a bit of a logo in there as well, too. A couple of singles you had told me about were Third Degree and Spilled Milk. We're going to run those two tracks right now. Right? Sounds Atlantic on 98.9, Nothing But Hits.
How did it come to this? Where were you when the lights went out again? When did you picture this? What was the motive when you drew the plans? How did we lose control? Why did it come to blows yet once again? Did we forget to take our medicine? Can it be figured out? Is it just something that we'll never get? Don't you get sick of this? Are we just suckers for a punishment? Did it feel good enough? Or do you think we should do this all again? Has anything changed or should I feel the same? Whoa, whoa, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, Has it been long enough? Is it too late to start again from scratch? What was the recipe? How did we tiptoe through the picker patch? Who do we blame for this? Isn't there someone who should take the fall? Why does it feel like talking to a wall? When's a good time for you? Where's a good place that we can stir the pot? Have we been there before? Would you care to remind me? I forgot. Should I wear something nice? Will everything fall right back into its place? Was that a smile I just seen on your face? Whoa, whoa!
98.9 Nothing But Hits supports our local musicians. This is Sounds Atlantic.
Wasn't to be expected from a lack of sufficient material. Far beyond expectancy, far beyond necessity. Perpetually dig too deep, keeping up with the neighbor's technology. Blood and sweat goes into this. Blood and sweat turns into death. Doesn't have to be nearly as bad as you make it out to be. All in actuality, all in actuality. Things could be so much worse than they are in your frivolous fantasy. On and on with what you want. On and on, it never stops. Just enough to complain. First world crash, nothing short or laughable. And all about a coffee will ruin your day. So easy to preach, but to practice is another thing entirely. Mired in predicament, despite the wholesome settlement. Ambiguous status update on a social networking cry for help. On and on, you're in despair. On and on, who really cares?
This is Sounds Atlantic. It is a Sunday night, and Lead Mule, my guest this evening, is Matt Bridgeo, of the lead singer and founder of Lead Mule. Heard Spilt Milk and Third Degree in there from the EP. Now, Matt, let's talk a little bit about STP, and we're not talking about motor oil here. We're talking about a band that was synonymous with huge hits like Cutting Through a Hole in Your Paper Heart. There was also Vaseline, Interstate Love Song, and that song kind of brings out something else I want to talk to you about. Stone Temple Pilots are looking for a lead singer.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
I would like you to tell me, as soon as I play a first little bit here from Interstate Love Song, I'm going to actually play the original version, and I'm going to play your version, not necessarily in that order. So, folks, check this out.
Waiting on a Sunday afternoon. Oh, I read between the lines. The lines. Feeling like a hand on rust is shaking. So do you laugh, loves to cry?
Okay, so there you have it. A couple of little clips. Interstate Love Song, Stone Temple Pilots, as well as Matt Bridgeo doing the lead for Interstate Love Song as well. Now, Matt, you and I discussed this and how we were going to do it and everything else like that, but I want to ask you, how did all of this come about? Because this is something that's I only noticed it here in the last in this past few days. Why don't you explain to us how the Stone Temple Pilots and their lead singer and how you got involved in this?
So I stumbled across it online. They said they were looking for a singer, and they were taking public submissions from people. So I just hummed and hawed about it, and at the end of it, I just couldn't say no. I just concluded that if I didn't try, I'd regret at least not giving it my best. So I said, well, we'll give it a shot. And it was about 2 weeks ago, I think, that they announced this. As many people know, Scott Whelan passed away, but before that, he wasn't active in Stone Temple Pilots. They had Chester Bennington from Lincoln Park stepping in for him. So he just had too many commitments. So they put a public submission out there, and I thought it was kind of noble of the band to do that, to just, in their words, they kind of want to reach out into the corners of the world to see what was out there, because they were like in their own little bubble, as they put it, in LA, where, you know, entertainment's everywhere, and they wanted to reach out and see what was out there in the far corner. So I thought, well, I'm in a far corner, so I thought it was a good opportunity.
Well, now, I'll tell you, the way that I worked that with Interstate Love Song was I played the original, played you second, and quite honestly, there's really barely any difference.
Well, I am I'm very flattered by the feedback that I've been getting, that's for sure. The video hasn't been up for very long. Last I checked, it's getting shared all over the place, and I'm getting a tremendous amount of support so far. So it's kind of relieving, because when you do this kind of thing, people have expectations of what they want to hear, especially with something that's nostalgic that they grew up listening to. Expectations are high, especially with a vocalist like Scott Whelan. He was quite arguably one of the best rock vocalists. So it's big shoes to fill, and not only that, you're kind of putting yourself out there when you do something like this. So that was my reluctance, and then I just kind of got pumped to try it, so I went for it.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I'm going to wish you all the best on this, because there's some pretty tight competition out there. But quite honestly, everybody has a fair shot at it. That's
right, and that's what the band has offered. And I think that's, like I said, it's a noble gesture for them to, you know, to put their feelers out like that, to allow people like us to give it a shot. And it'd be silly for me not to, you know, have the opportunity handed to me and try it.
There you go. Well, Matt, listen, you know, it's fantastic to even think about, you know, Stone Temple Pilots have been around for so many years, but I understand that they're looking for something in particular. They want somebody that can do the old music as well as maybe move forward into the new years up and coming, right?
Yeah, I remember them in an interview they were being asked whether or not there's going to be a lot of submissions trying to sound like Scott, and whether or not that's what they wanted. And their words, they said, we're looking for somebody who can honor our old catalog while being able to evolve with their new stuff. They want someone who can get it done in a way that the fans won't be disappointed, in a way that they can still perform their old material to those nostalgic fans and not let them down. So I don't think they're looking for a clone. That's impossible. But I think they're looking for somebody who can pull it off in a way that will please the fans.
Listen, we're going to play another track from the Lead Mule album. This is called Absence. Back with more from Matt in just a moment. Lead Mule on 98.9, nothing but hits.
Reminisce of what you left behind. A legacy that stands the test of time. Whoa, what if I told you I can no longer pretend you're not there? Wish I could tell you. The brightest beams will light the darkest dark. Your heart alone could melt the coldest heart. Whoa, what if I told you I can no longer pretend that you're not there? Wish I could tell you. Yeah. Too much time has now passed. Time to spread out the ash. Whoa, whoa.
This is Sounds Atlantic Sunday night polka and show right through till 9 o'clock tonight. And folks, if you want to get your music on the air, all you have to do is drop me a line, 98.9 XFM.ca. Click on submissions and then go to music. It will get to me right there directly. You can also email me directly to at music@989xfm.ca. That's music@989xfm.ca. And snail mail at P.O. Box 5800, Antigonish, Nova Scotia, B2G 2R9. That's B2G 2R9. P.O. Box 5800. My guest this time around, Matt Bridgeo of the band Lead Mule, their EP that was released a couple of years ago, Matt? Actually, 2013. So, yeah, a couple of years ago. Includes 5 songs: Spilt Milk, Sun Porch, Out West, Third Degree, and Absence. Now, Matt, we were talking about you folks doing a new album. What's going on with that?
Yeah, it's almost finished. We recorded that at the Old Confidence Lodge in Riverport with Diego Medina, and we're having Mike Turner, formerly from Our Lady Peace, mix it for us in Toronto, which we're very excited about, and we're hoping to have it completed here sometime this spring. Some of the songs on it have some of a good timey kind of feel to them, so we were more fitting to release it sometime in the spring or summer. So that's what we're hoping to do.
So something to look forward to in the next few months, I guess, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We'll be promoting that and making foolish videos and like we usually do.
Foolish videos. Speaking of which, there is a link now. I'm going to be posting that particular link about the Stone Temple Pilots, but there's another link too with a video which is kind of unique in its own little way. I know we're kind of jumping off topic here, but just talking about silly little videos. What was that all about anyway?
Oh, the promo for
that's right. The promo. That's right.
Yeah, well, that was kind of inspired by that whole, that whole shooter movie, the whole idea of, the guy's retired, he doesn't do that anymore, and they hunt him down, they try to track him down, they do one last mission. I just thought it'd be kind of a funny notion, and one thing led to another, and then Beans got involved into the equation, and and then you got the fake beards and all this, and actually the man who comes to hunt me down is actually Mark Durkee, I was talking about earlier. Yeah. Our guitar player. So he likes doing stuff like that, so he got involved with it, and we had a good time, and it was Crystal Porter actually directed the video. A friend of hers named Channing shot the video. She edited it. We like doing stuff like that. It's thinking outside the box instead of just your plain, your typical type, videos where you just go on about a show and stuff like that. These days there's so much stuff out there and so much content it's easy to just skip past it all. So, if you want to kind of get noticed with stuff like that, I guess the best way to do is to make it entertaining. If it's something that you think is funny or would like to watch, then chances are somebody else may as well. And
all right, listen, let's get back to the new album. It's coming out in the next couple of months. There's not a name for it as of yet, is there?
Oh, yes, it will be titled Parts and Labor.
And looking forward to the new music as well, too. Listen, Matt, I want to thank you very much for being on the show tonight for Sounds Atlantic. And I also want to wish you all the best, too, in the quest for being the new lead singer of Stone Temple Pilots. That's a pretty big honor to have.
Yeah, it is. It's big shoes to fill, small fish in a big pond, but... it's exciting. So, I'm looking forward to seeing who gets it, regardless, and how this all unfolds.
Absolutely, and believe me, we'll be pushing it down this way too of this end of the province. So, listen, I want to thank you again, Matt, and all the best to you.
Well, thank you very much for having me, and thanks for reaching out.
I had a dream of all sorts, mainly in a sun porch of people that I haven't seen for a while. Familiar looking faces, music from the basement. I don't know who was playing, but it made me smile. Was a talker, she had a broken walker. He was worried that she might not walk again. There's a list up on the wall, fairly long if I recall. Borrowed items and no sign of a replacement. That's right. Sunday night, quite chaotic, peace and quiet though. Fast asleep with my hopes and fears come to life, don't know the difference. The next thing that I know, I was biking down the road, going too fast, leaning hard around the corners. Ended up at someone's house, couples arguing about everything and anything that you could think of. Sunday night, quite chaotic, peace and quiet though. Fast asleep with my hopes and fears come to life, don't know the difference. That's the sound of my Sunday night, quite chaotic, peace and quiet though. Fast asleep with my hopes and fears come to life, don't know the difference. Get up, forget. Remember everything you love to regret. Rise and shine, release, get up. Fall asleep, we'll make it love. Rise and shine, release, get up, forget.
Music from our region. Sounds Atlantic on 98.9. Nothing but hits.